Shakur Stevenson is a first-class fighter, and I don't think it's going to make any difference that he gives his title up because of weight difference. He'll just go to the next division and win that title as well.
People wanted this young, talented, brilliant talent, brilliant defensive fighter, brilliant guy at control and range, Olympic silver medalist, quick hands, technically solid. He finally satisfied the critics, and he mixed offense with the defense.
You're here for your little brother this week,
yes,
in Shakur Stevenson. I've interviewed both of you for years, and you really have kind of built a relationship other people know about, and some people maybe don't. How good is Shakur Stevenson in your opinion?
He's not good, he's great. Shakur got all the tools and abilities to do bigger and better things than me, and that's what I'm hoping for him to do.
Many icons of the boxing world think Shakur Stevenson could go his entire career without a defeat. In their view, his success comes from pairing top-tier technical ability with an unusually calm and controlled mindset inside the ring.
Stood his ground, and he punched, and he still got the better of it with the sweet science, being defensively responsible, but without having to be less entertaining. He was more entertaining. He satisfied people. He made people, they said, that's what we wanted in Shakur. And they got it.
Andre Ward has openly spoken highly of Shakur Stevenson's abilities. He's explained that Stevenson's promise in the sport stands out because of his deep understanding of boxing, his commitment to constant improvement, and the strong discipline he brings to his training.
I think he had a lot of stuff he could have did, but he's so talented and gifted, man, you know. You also got to trust what he's seeing in there. You know, we're on the outside, you know. But I think he put on a tremendous performance. And obviously, you know, the level he's at, you always look for things he could do better, you know.
What did you see from the outside that he might?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, you know, like I think it was a lot of body work and stuff like that he could have touched on. But again, he's in there, you know, so he's seeing stuff, he's feeling the punches. We not. So you got to trust what he's seeing.
Teofimo just couldn't get going.
He put on a well, he tried to get going. He just wasn't allowed to. So it's just the distance and range that Shakur has just perfected throughout the years, and then making him pay when he does that discourages him to not want to punch anymore. And I think he was out of answers in the first round. Honestly, I think he didn't really have any answers. When Teo starts doing little certain things with his hands and starts playing the clown game, he out of answers. He's down to just one shot. So Shakur just stayed focused, stayed locked in. And, you know, was that 4 divisions now? 26, 30, 35, 40.
Ward also pointed out that it's still too early to place a ceiling on Shakur's greatness, explaining that he's continuing to grow as a fighter and hasn't yet gone up against every top-level opponent available.
Not done yet, you know. It's not done yet. He's a great for sure. How great, we're going to see. You know, he got a lot of, he can box as long as he wants to box because he don't take punishment, and he's a master boxer, you know what I mean? So, just excited for him, man. Happy for him, man. You know, it's hard for me to see my brothers fight when I'm not fighting. That's harder to me than to actually fight because I can't help. So I'm just happy it's over, man. I'm happy he got the win and get home to them babies, get that check.
Last one from me. He's in there in the ring with Conor Ben. Do you like that fight for sure?
Absolutely, yeah.
How do you think that one goes?
Conor's always dangerous. He's gonna come forward, but man, it's gonna look a lot like that. And there's no disrespect to Conor Ben. You know, I respect what he does and how he does it, but the skill set, bro, is different. They say them boxers boring, man. Why they be saying?
Terence Crawford has spoken positively about Shakur Stevenson's abilities, hinting that many fighters think twice before stepping in the ring with him. He suggested that opponents often avoid the matchup because Stevenson presents such a tough challenge in terms of style and technical skill.
The reason why certain fighters didn't want to take the chance to step in the ring with this fighter. He's great. A lot of people started saying, oh, he's a runner, he's this, he's that. Just to detour people from being excited to see him fight because he's not knocking people out and all that crazy stuff. But they would see why people really don't want to get in the ring with him come tomorrow.
I know you've shared the ring with him, sparring plenty of times. What makes Shakur Stevenson great? What makes him different? What makes him, I don't want to say an ilk of yourself, but in the same kind of era, the Bug Crawford era, he's got a Shakur Stevenson era coming through.
Everything. The offense, the defense, the poise, the rhythm, the distance, the timing, the punch placement, the react time. Like, I can go on and on. You know, the toughness, the grit, the grind. Like, he's amazing, you know. And tomorrow he will show it.
How do you think it ends tomorrow night? Do you believe that Shakur Stevenson can stop Teofimo Lopez? Because people aren't really talking about that.
Listen, if T.O. get out of line, you know, he can get hurt. You know, but I see Shakur outboxing him to a decision, a unanimous decision at that.
Deontay Wilder has recognized Shakur Stevenson as one of the sharpest minds and most polished technicians in modern boxing. His highlighted Stevenson's mastery of range, precise punch timing, and defensive awareness that consistently disrupts and wears down his opponents.
I mean, Shakur is very skillful. He's very smart in the ring, and they come to fight every time.
Floyd Mayweather has also spoken favorably about Shakur Stevenson's boxing ability, even though he stopped short of calling him the top fighter in the division outright. What Mayweather specifically emphasized was that Stevenson stands out as the most technically refined boxer in the weight class. He contrasted that by describing Gervonta Davis as the division's most powerful puncher, while positioning Stevenson as the superior pure boxer. On another occasion, Mayweather told a young Stevenson that he believed Stevenson could be the one to surpass his records, signaling strong confidence in his talent and long-term potential early on.
Guys fighting between 130, 135, and 140. They stack, you know, around that area. So, I mean, as of right now,
skills that pay the bills.
Well, the two guys, well, the biggest puncher, I feel, at the 135 will probably be Gervonta Tank Davis.
Mm-hmm.
But the most skillful fighter at 135 will be hands down Shakur Stevens.
And what is it about him? Because I know he have a lot of good attributes, but do you think he has enough power to sustain?
Well, it's really all about skills. Pernell Whitaker wasn't a huge puncher, but he was, I mean, very exciting, very tough, and he fought everybody. And Shakur is trying to do the same thing. He want to fight the best they got out.
Mike Tyson has openly shown respect for Shakur Stevenson's boxing prowess, describing him as a true technician whose refined skill set makes him extremely difficult to defeat, even if some viewers don't fully grasp his approach. Tyson explained that when Stevenson's bouts don't appeal to every fan, it's because high-level boxing is more about craft than spectacle. He pointed out that Stevenson's accuracy, defensive awareness, and ring intelligence are the very qualities that allow him to clearly outclass elite opponents. Tyson also complimented Stevenson's recent outings, noting how sharp he looks with clean combinations and subtle head movement, adding that his style reflects the fundamentals of traditional boxing, land shots while avoiding damage.
Could Shakur beat him? If he can't hurt him, that would be my question.
Listen, you don't have to hurt him, you just have to outscore him. You know, Shakur takes a good shot, though. You know, he's a specialist. That's why some fights that he doesn't look good in, because he's so superior. And it's boring watching sometimes. But he's a specialist. He knows what he's doing. He's hard to...
Shakur Stevenson earned a silver medal at the 2016 Olympics and has since kept a perfect record in the professional ranks. He has recently moved up to the 140-pound division, setting his sights on a world title showdown with Teofimo Lopez. Stevenson's top-level defense, sharp accuracy, smooth southpaw footwork, and high boxing IQ have made him one of the most difficult fighters to solve. By dictating range and pace, he has consistently outmaneuvered elite opponents across multiple weight classes. Stevenson has also been clear about his ambitions, stating that his goal is to build a legacy that goes beyond holding belts, aiming instead to be remembered among the greatest fighters in boxing history by facing the toughest competition available.
People think the fight with T.O. is either going to be you delivering a masterclass
or a knockout by T.O.
Yeah, or you getting into some type of brawl with T.O. and end up getting knocked out, right? What are fans getting wrong about the matchup?
I think the fans is getting wrong about the matchup is where I'm not sleeping on that I know about T.O. T.O.'s a good boxer.
Mm-hmm.
He's boxer first. So we could say, oh, he's just going to knock you out. Or he's just going to... That's not him. He's boxing first. He's going to want to establish distance and range on the outside and try to beat me up on the outside. So I think that's the main thing. And also the biggest thing that everybody don't realize with me, I could punch. Everybody say, oh, he can't punch, and then boom, crack somebody, and then they laying down, or something may happen to where they hurt, or something like that. So I think that's two big things where they don't understand.
Eddie Hearn has recently voiced strong backing for Shakur Stevenson, describing the smooth southpaw as one of boxing's most overlooked talents. Hearn explained that many fans and analysts underestimate how tough Stevenson is to defeat because his success isn't driven by highlight reel knockouts, but by world-class fundamentals, sharp ring awareness, and elite defense. He noted that Stevenson's command of spacing, his ability to shut down dangerous rivals, and his consistent control of rounds make him a brutal matchup for any opponent, no matter the division. Hearn also stressed that repeatedly winning in a clear and dominant fashion at the highest level takes a rare level of excellence that often goes unnoticed. From his perspective, Stevenson's track record, professionalism, and technical mastery merit significantly more recognition than he currently gets from the wider boxing audience.
I think Shakur is massively underrated in terms of his achievements and his ability. Everyone in boxing knows how good Shakur is. He is pound for pound, top 5 in terms of quality. But look at the achievements of the young man. At 28 years of age, he's already a 3-division world champion. This is to become a 4-division world champion. Quite remarkable. And Teofimo always rises to the occasion. Sometimes you see a little bit of a lackluster performance when he's not motivated, when there isn't kind of any legacy on the line. This is different. This is a sold-out Madison Square Garden between two of the elite fighters of our generation. And the best thing about this fight is we're seeing them in their prime.
Following Stevenson's commanding win over Teofimo Lopez at Madison Square Garden, Brian Bomac McIntyre responded with glowing praise. He described the performance as a work of art, saying Stevenson looked effortless, composed, and flawless inside the ring, adding that young fighters should study the bout as a model of how boxing is supposed to be done. McIntyre pointed to Stevenson's intelligent use of the jab, sharp footwork, and high-level ring awareness, explaining that Lopez had no answers and no path to change the direction of the fight. When asked what it would take to defeat Stevenson, Bomac bluntly remarked that avoiding him altogether might be the best option, a statement that captured just how one-sided the performance truly was.
Piece, man. He looked so smooth, calm, and relaxed, man. That was beautiful. That was the one boxing lesson that you future guys, young guys and amateurs just turning pro, watch that, man. That was beautiful. You heard his father say in the corner, what happened to your fast hands? That didn't work, man. No.
Just overall, like, just given the styles and in boxing so well, like, was there any way that Teo could have put on a better performance, a better plan, and gotten a better result?
No, I don't think whatever he would have brought to the table would have worked, man. Shakur just got a great boxing mind. That's just it. He's got a great boxing mind, and you want to see put his mind to it, he's going to get the job done.
What is it going to take to beat someone like him?
I don't know, Brian. Probably want to stay away from that kid, man.
Shakur Stevenson delivered a stunning performance against Teofimo Lopez, producing one of the most commanding displays of his career over 12 rounds. He dominated every aspect of the fight, using top-tier defense, crisp jabs, and pinpoint counters that made it extremely difficult for Lopez to land cleanly, while Stevenson repeatedly connected with precision. All three judges scored the bout 119 to 109, a clear reflection of how thoroughly Stevenson controlled the pace and neutralized Lopez's attacks. Stevenson described his approach as pure boxing artistry, landing punches without taking damage and breaking opponents down methodically. His movement, timing, and strategic intelligence were on full display, allowing him to outmaneuver and outclass a former champion on the sport's biggest stage.
Shakur Stevenson. Wow. I saw some casuals online saying that it wasn't entertaining. But if you're a boxing purist and you know what you're watching, you know that you're watching greatness. The art of hitting and not getting hit. Let me put this into perspective for you. Teofimo Lopez is a 2-weight Ring Magazine champion. He is elite and he's in his prime. Shakur Stevenson went to his weight category and made him look ordinary. He is top 5 pound for pound in the world right now. And he beats anybody and everybody from 135 to 147. And I include Tank.
Greg Hackett expressed sheer admiration for how completely Stevenson dominated the fight. He noted that Stevenson's impeccable timing, accurate jabs, and precise counters capitalized on every small error Lopez made, keeping him off balance and unable to connect cleanly. Hackett described this as effectively immobilizing Lopez in the ring, shutting down his offense and disrupting his rhythm. Stevenson's control of distance and patience ensured Lopez never found an opening to mount meaningful pressure. Even when Stevenson increased his tempo, he didn't have to take unnecessary risks, winning the fight with ease and authority.
Shakur Stevenson put the belt to add Teofimo Lopez, right?
Yeah.
12-round sweep. I know they had it 11-1, but shit, if you watched it, 12 clean rounds.
Yeah.
What you think of the performance?
I do. It was excellent. It was. Shakur understands like what 3 minutes is. And he take full advantage of 3 minutes. He take full advantage of the ring. And he exploit whatever it is that you got bad habits at, or wherever you make your mistakes, he gonna exploit that. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to beat that because no matter how hard you train, if you're not able to do what you train to do, it's almost like you left paralyzed.
Hackett emphasized that Stevenson's approach relies not on raw power, but on capitalizing on opponents' errors and punishing every misstep, a strategy that rendered Lopez largely ineffective. This performance reinforced Stevenson's standing as a world-class champion, showcasing a level of boxing mastery that only a select few fighters maintain consistently.
I know we talked about Teofimo's footwork and his inability to cut the ring off in other fights.
Yeah.
Did you see that play a role in this one?
He don't, to me, he don't really trust his footwork. I think if you think about his career, it's not a lot of fighters. It's been a few fighters like the Santillan fight and stuff like that. Where guys, they made him use his footwork.
You mean Sandro Martin?
Sandro Martin, my bad. Yeah. It's only been a few fights, guys, a few fights where guys make Tio use his footwork. When he have an off night with those guys, he might say, yo, it's for this reason, it's for that reason. He'll never say it's because my footwork's not there, right? Because the average fighter, when Tio make a move, they stay there and he get his off. Or if they jump at him, he take a step back, he counter, put him out. So these are things you wouldn't see in a normal fight. In there, him being in there with a normal fighter. Being in there with a Shakur, where Shakur is the judge, he gonna tax you for every little thing you...
Teofimo Lopez Sr. attributed much of the loss to his son failing to follow their planned strategy and openly voiced his frustration with how the fight played out. He explained that everything was meant to go according to their game plan, but Lopez didn't execute as instructed, struggled to adapt, and allowed Stevenson to control the fight from start to finish. Senior suggested that mental distractions and mindset issues contributed, implying his son never fully engaged after early setbacks and the commentary surrounding Stevenson. While he did acknowledge Stevenson's win, Lopez Sr. stressed that the performance didn't reflect his son's true capabilities, hinting that he wasn't mentally prepared to compete at the level required.
Core, he boxes because he does step back. You know, but then he comes in and jabs and tries to counter. That's boxing, okay? But not Jermaine Ortiz, not Simon Mellon, and then all of a sudden, if you look at the second round, Jermaine Ortiz was boxing. He was boxing my son the first round. In the second round, he gets hit with a body shot and never came back. He started running from that point on.
Teddy Atlas highlighted that the result of the Stevenson versus Lopez fight hinged as much on mindset and mental readiness as on physical skill. He pointed out that although Stevenson's technical precision and defensive prowess make him incredibly hard to beat, skill alone wouldn't determine the outcome. Lopez needed the right mental approach to effectively challenge Stevenson. Atlas explained that Stevenson's calmness, ability to capitalize on errors, and strategic use of pacing and tape study gave him a clear advantage if Lopez couldn't assert himself or maintain confidence. He stressed that fighters who underestimate Stevenson's mental discipline often suffer, as Stevenson remains patient, executes his plan flawlessly, and frustrates his opponents, a key factor behind his dominant performance.
You see that fight going?
Which fight?
Teofimo and Shakur.
Listen, to me, you got to start with Teofimo's mindset. I mean, he's a terrifically talented fighter, but he can be hot and cold. And I think the hot and cold isn't really attached to his physical abilities or condition. I think it's mental. I think, is he in a mental good place? Is he mentally in a good place? I think that, I don't know if we know that for sure, but when he's in mentally a good place, he's a hell of a fighter. I think that what's interesting about this is that he might be the first fighter that Shakur has ever faced that can match him athletically. Speed, quickness, and surpass him in power. But match him with hand speed and leg speed. So that makes it very interesting. I'll tell you something that nobody...
Does this display cement Stevenson as untouchable at 140 pounds? Or is it time for him to take on bigger names like Conor Ben? Share your opinions in the comments below.